Hi, so am I. I have a very exciting announcement for the Chillinois podcast. We're now on Patreon. What does this mean? This means that every Sunday, a new episode of the Chillinois podcast will drop on Patreon exclusively. Now, don't worry, we're going to still release the podcast for absolutely free, but if you don't subscribe to us on Patreon, you'll just be listening to the episodes 2 weeks late. So if you want to subscribe to our Patreon, go to chillinois.net/Patreon or click the link that is in the podcast description and you can sign up. It's only $3 a month and you get early access to the Chillinois podcast while also supporting the Chillinois podcast. Look, folks, it costs a lot of money to do what I do. In case you didn't know, podcasting is very expensive, especially if you're doing it the way I'm doing it. Distribution fees, licensing fees, and everything else can add up. We've been doing a lot of traveling lately. That adds up. So your support is appreciated. If you're not able to contribute $3 monthly to our Patreon, you can still go to chillinois.net/support and contribute any amount. That's a one-time, monthly, or yearly donation. We're trying to keep it flexible for you folks so that you're able to support us. Help me, help you, and let's keep this awesome podcast going. Thank you so much if you have subscribed to the Patreon already. If you've subscribed to the Patreon, you know that we've already dropped podcasts with Tommy Chong, Abdullah Saeed, and many other guests. I've got some really exciting shows coming up, and I promise you're going to want to sign up for our Patreon page for early access. One more time, chillinois.net/Patreon for early access to episodes of the Chillinois podcast. I want to make it very clear before I go. The podcast will remain absolutely free, and you'll be able to continue streaming it from wherever you're streaming it from now. However, the episodes will just release 2 weeks later than they release on Patreon, okay? I'm gonna go smoke some weed. Enjoy, and thank you all so much for making this podcast what it has been. I know everybody says this, but I truly couldn't do this without you and your support. So thank you. It really means a lot.